Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, everybody. What just happened? That is a very appropriate question because hell has just frozen over. Last night, Survivor Series 2023 War Games, and it was a show. It was a show. Stuff happened. So let's just get into it. So we have the women's War Games match starting the show off, and it's the team of Damage Control, Io, Sky, Bayley, Asuka, and Kairi Sane taking on Bianca, Belair, Shotzi, Charlotte, Flair, and Becky Lynch. So this match, it was good. It was fine. We started out with Becky and Bayley, which I thought was very appropriate. I forget who had the advantage. I think the faces had the man advantage. So we had Becky and Bayley starting the match off, and it was just keeping it very, very simple, doing some work here and there. And we were just waiting, and Dakota immediately made her presence known. She hit from outside the ring, hit Becky with a kendo stick. So we have all of that. Shotzi's in next, and Bayley tried to prevent Shotzi from coming in. So Shotzi went under the ring, got some steel chairs and a trash can. By the time Shotzi got in the ring, Bayley had got the chair. So, Shotzi, on some realness, Shotzi was pretty much a non-factor here during most of the match. She was only there for the big spots and the big moments. After Shotzi, Io ran in to even up the odds, and she had a chain, and she was just doing work because Io is that girl, and her and Bayley were just putting in work. Bayley directing traffic, and finally the Bianca came in, followed by who was after Bianca, Kairi, and then Charlotte, and then Asuka. So it was a tight match. Everybody's getting there, doing their thing. Io does what Io does. Charlotte does what Charlotte does. Io was on top of the cage with a trash can over her head, and she just jumped on everybody because we've seen the spot before. And then finally Asuka came out, who was just kicking ass, and the match officially begun at 24-18. Damage Control was armed. They were dominating this match, and then somehow, some way, the faces made a comeback. Kairi and Becky rode to the left side of the ring. Becky hit an inverted DDT. Bayley gave Lynch a rose plant. Shotzi gave Bayley a slice spread number 2, and then Asuka was going to deliver to Mr. Shotzi again because she had hit it before, but Bianca cut her off with the fire extinguisher. Kairi hit Bianca with a trash can later, and that one looked like it hurt. Then Flair gave Kairi a boot, and she was going to go spear Kairi, but Bayley pushed Kairi out of the way and took the hit. Shotzi gave Bayley a diving elbow. Belair gave Bayley a KOD. Becky and everybody else powerbombed Bayley through a table. 1, 2, 3. I'm sorry, no. Becky hit a manhandle slam through the table. 1, 2, 3. And that was the match. It was fun. I think the wrong team won. And at some point, Becky and Charlotte hugged it out, which was fucking stupid. But it showed that they could work together. And it's fine. Whatever. I don't think the reunion is going to last long. Damage Control really, really dominated this match. And Bayley was the true MVP over here. And she took the fall. She's going to get some sympathy. And the face turn for Bayley is going to slowly but surely come along. But everybody's going to remember this for the Kairi, for the Io Sky spot. Next up, We have some backstage stuff with Sami and Jay, letting know that Randy hadn't arrived yet, but we're going to get to the Intercontinental Championship match with Gunther defending against The Miz, and this was fine. This was solid. You knew it was going to happen. You knew Gunther was going to retain, but they made Miz sympathetic. They made it look like he was going to win, and essentially turn him face. But it kind of didn't work during this match. I mean, he hit the low blow, and he hit a skull crusher finale, and you get why The Miz would cheat. And faces can cheat if done right. But Gunther did everything here beautifully, making Miz look good. Miz made himself look good. So this was good. And Miz didn't give up. So we'll see where we go from here. But I truly believe it's still going to be Chad Gable to defeat Gunther for the championship. Next up, we have Santos Escobar versus Dragon Lee. And this was a weird one, but it was tight and it was a really, really good match. They only went about a little bit over 8 minutes. And the crowd was very much behind this. Dragon Lee got to do his showcase and show just how good he is. And I was wrong. I picked Dragon Lee to win this match, but Santos Escobar won. Escobar went trying to take Dragon Lee's mask, and you know that he knows what's that about. But Lee flipped through a clothesline, went from a setup powerbomb, but Escobar blocked it, hit the South of the Border Destroyer, which was a Canadian destroyer, long ass name, and then he hit the Phantom Driver for the 1, 2, 3. They could really capitalize on Rey Mysterio's injury here, and show that Santos did it without remorse, and he will continue to brag about it. And I'm all ready for a nice little faction warfare between two LWO teams. Next to it, we had the Women's World Championship with Rhea Ripley defending against Zoey Stark. And you knew how this was going to go. You knew Rhea was going to win. Rhea won. It was all about making Zoey look good. And Zoey put up a really, really valiant effort and put up a really, really good fight. She has the skills in the ring. She has what it takes to climb that ladder. But Rhea is just on a whole different level. Zoey was never a credible challenger, let alone a babyface, so it was hard to kind of make us root for Zoey when we all know that everyone loves Rhea Ripley. Everyone loves Rhea Ripley. But it was a fine match, and listen, Rhea's not losing the championship anytime soon. Lastly, we had the men's War Game match, and it was the team of the Judgement Day, Finn Balor, Damien Priest, Dominic Mysterio, JD McDonagh, teaming with Drew McIntyre to take on Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, and Randy Orton. The Hills here had the man advantage, and we started out with Seth and Finn, which I think was a good way to start this thing off. And these two know each other so well, and it was just biding time. Essentially, we're always just biding time until we get this match started. And so JD McDonagh was next. So him and Finn Balor, best friends right there. They can just immediately just beat up on Seth, and that's what they did. They whooped Seth's ass. Kendo sticks, just taking him out. And then Jey Uso was next. He took out Balor, and now we're building up to this match. And now, when the clock ticked down again, Drew tried to exit the shark cage because he wanted Jey, but Damien held him back and said, "Stick to the plan." Drew told Damien, "Not my plan," and Priest said, "Well, no." Drew told Damien the plan is changed, and Damien was like, "Not my plan." And he told Drew to trust him and took off to the ring. So Damien's in there. Drew is pissed. We're using steel chairs. We're beating up everybody. Sami Zayn comes in, and then Drew finally enters the ring at the 18-minute mark. And he drops Sami. He drops Rollins with a Alabama slam, and he goes right for Jay. And Jay steadies himself, acknowledging what's about to come as when they trade punches. And Drew went for a quick future shock DDT, but Jay blocked it. He kicked Drew in the knee, then tossed a shoulder over Drew's, but McIntyre rose up and he hit Jay across the cage and said, "Say you're sorry, acknowledge what you did." And Drew was just beating this man's ass. He was pretty much taking out everybody, right? And then Cody somehow got a bull rope from the bottom of the cage when it was his time to come in. And he looked at Seth and said, "One night, right? You know they got heat. They got heat with each other." But this was good. But then we got to the really, really fun spot in the match. So Seth and Sami are setting them down for a powerbomb to a table, but the Judgment Day takes them out. McIntyre Priest had another brief stare down, but put the difference aside to give Rollins, Baylor, Zayn, and Jay some choke slams. And then Dom hit a frog splash on the top rope. Balor hit the coup de grace, and then they gave Seth a razor's edge through the table. Right, so the clock clicks down to 0. So the only person that's got to come out is Randy Orton. So Randy actually wasn't in the cage; he was still in the back. Rhea's music hit, and she's running down to the ring with a rough in tow, with Damien Priest's briefcase. And he was going to cash in. I'm like, this is great. Seth just got put through a table, cash in, and then Randy comes out, and he is a house of fire. Snap power slam to Dom. Snap power slam to JD McDonagh. Trading punches with everybody. He's cleaning up. He's controlling everything, and he was the catalyst that put the faces over the top. And he hits the Hangman's DDT, and he's staring down Priest, and he turned around. He was face to face with Jey Uso. And he said to Jay, "You and your boys, you did that." Or it said, Priest flew in, but Uso gave him a super kick. Dom, top rope, RKO. And there was this crazy spot where only JD McDonagh was left standing. He tried climbing the cage, but Sami and Seth grabbed him. And they threw this man off the cage into an RKO. And then Cody gave him a crossroads. JD McDonagh is dead. This was a fun match. It didn't have the emotional investment like last year's match did, but the real emotion was for Drew and Jay. But the crowd ate this up. The crowd really, really ate this up. So this was good. This is what you expect when it comes to hardcore matches in WWE. It won't be anything crazy. But Orton, with a slight focus on Jay, made it clear that things are not well between them. And the faces are celebrating in the ring. And static cut, Cult of Personality plays. The crowd goes crazy. CM Punk walks out. Hell has frozen over. The ovation was insane. It's almost on par with the Bad Bunny ovation from Backlash earlier this year. And he just stopped at the top of the ramp, screamed out his clobbering time, and looked in the ring and smirking. People were annoyed, pissed, happy. I don't know, but it's going down. CM Punk is back in the WWE. Didn't think what happened. And this is the only thing we're going to remember about Survivor Series. We're going to remember this, Randy's return, and EO with that trash can. But that is what just happened. Survivor Series 2023. I got two matches right. The Gunther match and the Rhea match. I was not expecting the other matches to go down like that. I'm curious to see where we're going with the storylines, especially with the Damage Control storyline, because even though Bayley took the pin, she sacrificed herself for Kairi so then she can get sympathy. That's what I'm really interested in. But that men's WarGames match has a lot of stuff. The Judgment Day are fine, but it's the Randy, Seth, Cody, Jay, Drew, come out, that grouping, which is going to be trouble. But you know CM Punk's going to open up Raw this Monday. But that is our show. That is what just happened. Come back this week when we will go over, I don't know yet. I got to come up with the month's plan the schedule for the rest of the month, but we got some stuff planned for you. Don't worry about that. I'm Jeremy Pierce. This is What Just Happened. Don't forget to check out the High Wrestling Podcast every single Saturday. Peace.